Hello you crazy awesome gamers and welcome to The King is Watching. It's a roguelite kingdom builder in which the factor of decision is real. You have to balance resources, train your armies, and you have to adapt to a lot of situations. I have already placed 3 wells which are producing water because with water you will build the first 2 important buildings, the tree and the wet field. In the top you can see the flags of the incoming enemy forces, and with wet and wood you will be able to build the small peasant's hut, which will give you fighters. But the tricky thing here is that I have this L-shaped marker on the screen, and that is the king, which is in the top right corner, watching the buildings. The buildings only work if they are watched by the king. That's why you have to adapt constantly on which buildings you focus, because they won't work if the king is not watching. While the resources are being gathered, let me tell you about 2 very awesome fights, which are gonna be the first boss and the last boss. Especially the last boss battle is so awesome and I can't wait for you to see it. But until then we have many weeks, many waves of enemies coming and so many decisions to do. Let's go through them step by step. We are being attacked. We have an archer and a bandit incoming, but my 2 swordmen with my 2 villagers are gonna make a short work of them. After each wave you will get rewards. You'll get some money and some buildings, tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3. Now I'm choosing the forge because I want to smelt ore into metals, and I'm choosing the iron mine because I need the ores. Also you get some prophecy cards. These are gonna be the next waves. You have 3 slots and you have to choose which enemies are gonna attack you. The number of skulls represent the difficulty, so you have to be really careful on what you are choosing. Usually the 1 skull cards are really easy, but of course the rewards are not that good. Also you get sometimes some choices. For example, here you can choose between a T1 building, a wet field, or 50 resource. So I chose what I believed it was better. Also I want to upgrade my vision, the king's vision, and for that I need a lot of gold and some wet. Fortunately, as I said, I'm using the marketplace and I am selling wet, 1 wet for 1 gold. I have 2 wet buildings, so the gold is coming. But me being me, I made a mistake and I haven't clicked on upgrading the vision. In the meantime I focused a little bit on the resources and the next wave came, and oh my god, they destroyed my villagers. They are going to attack my gate, but fortunately I'm moving my focus on my village production, and when they are attacking the gate usually they don't attack my guys, so I can like backstab them and make short work of them. Now I also were able to choose an artifact, and for the first time I'm using the catapult factory. I just got it, never played with it again. It's so powerful. After the next wave I chose this time the crystal mine because again you will see I will get the most powerful unit in the game, which is also amazing. And I'm also choosing some spells which are gonna help me either buffing my buildings, my units, or attacking the enemy units. And now I finally upgraded the vision. Now I have 4 squares. Now I will also receive a trader with which I can use my money in order to buy artifacts, buildings, units, and so on. I can choose to build the archery. It's gonna use some wood, but I don't have. I have the gold mine, which is useful in the beginning. I have some artifacts which are like personal upgrades, or I can boost the efficiency of some buildings. These are really powerful, and overall you should be careful on what you're choosing. We're finally able to put our catapult factory and we're gonna focus the production on it in order to make 2 catapults. Each building has a max unit size. In this case the catapult has 2 maximum catapults. They are powerful, but you will see my personal favorite is gonna be the ballista unit, which is gonna come a little bit later, but is so awesome. And with the catapults, with the ballista, and with the swordmen, you're gonna be able to resist for a lot of waves. And remember, you are choosing those prophecies, which in turn is gonna give you more powerful enemies, but with more powerful rewards. And with these units, you're gonna be able to choose the more powerful rewards. Of course, they're gonna help you a lot more. As promised, here is the ballista building, which is gonna produce 2 ballistas, and they are my favorite. They are shooting big arrows and they are doing a lot of damage to a single unit. The catapults are pushing the units back, so sometimes they will miss, but the ballistas won't. Another important mechanic is the troops morale. For each point of morale you get 1% bonus to damage. There's also buildings that will improve that. One of them is the arena, which will give you 20 morale, and now as you can see I have 10 morale. That means 10% extra damage. And I finally got the Crystal Palace and I was able to build it. This is supposed to build the most powerful unit in the game. It's like a big crystal tank. The only thing is that the unit works only if the king is watching that building. Now the first boss is coming. The Goblin Warlord of the Horde. The other two units are pretty easy because I have the catapults and I have the ballista, and also I have the tanky crystal thingy. But the boss is pretty powerful and I'm going to use some spells on it to be able to defeat it more easily. This one transforms him into a fleeing ship. Of course, after some cooldown it's gonna come back on, but I'm going to use again the same spell and I'm gonna be able to defeat it. Otherwise, I'm sure he would have destroyed my tanky crystal thingy, which costs a lot of crystals, and crystals are a rare resource. I've explained you the main mechanics of the game. This is a really cool game and I cannot wait for the full release. Now I'm gonna leave you watch the rest of the video with the most important moments and of course the epic final boss showdown. In the meantime, remember to subscribe, leave me a comment if you like this game, if you want more of it.